Hey friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stampin', and I am so excited that you're here with me today because I have the coolest card ever for you. I actually have a really cool reason I'm making it also, so I'm going to share about that during our little story time portion of this video. If you're new around here, I ask that you please subscribe. We'd love to have new folks. And if you're a returning friend, I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for your time. So we are going to use... Oh, first I want to show you, I already colored this little image here. This was colored in advance and it was recorded, but it was only recorded for my Creative Vault members. So this portion of the video is, or it's actually a separate video, is not here. I'm using Pear Blossom Press Vellum today. If you are on the search for some cool vellum, these are great little packs of vellum. They come in a 4 1/4 by 5.5 pack. And as you can see, there's several colors. I think this is all the vellum I'm probably ever going to need for my entire life, possibly. And I love that it's already cut down to size for me. And then I'm using the Big Barn dies from Honeybee Stamps, and I'm going to create this super cute barn. Now, this video was actually previously recorded for my Creative Vault members, and one of them made this suggestion to give the effect of wood grain to this barn was to use a score pal or a scoring tool. So you'll see that here in a minute. I'm going to actually die cut all of the pieces that I need in white out of this white cardstock, and I get them all arranged on here just right. So that I'm saving as much paper as possible. And then we're going to run it through my die cutting machine. So as we build this card, really quick, I just want to talk a little bit about Pear Blossom Press and the lights. Basically, using lights on your cards is super simple, and I think it's a really intimidating thing for people, but it's way more simple than you think, A. And B, they take your card so next level, it's not even, you can't even compare it to anything. So here is, I'm using the Altenew scoring board, and I am going to score every 1/4 of an inch, and I've sped this up because this did take me a little bit. So I'm scoring every 1/4 of an inch down this barn to create a kind of like wood paneling or wood grain look. This turned out fantastic, and honestly, this is just a trick I totally forgot about. But when I was doing this video live, you're actually watching a recorded replay or a voiceover replay. When I was doing this video live for my Creative Vault, one of my members, as I was talking, I was saying, man, I really wish I had a way to make this look like it had a wood grain or panels, and she suggested that I use a score tool. And I thought, how brilliant. I just love the crafting community, how we all help each other out and give each other ideas. So it really stepped up the look of this card by adding that little element. Here I'm using my C1 marker, Copic marker, to just add a little bit of shadow to the bends in the roof of the barn. I wanted the trim of the barn to be white and all the windows to be white, but I wanted there to be a little bit of dimension and a little bit of shading to help just give a little bit more character to the trim on the roof. Before we get too much further into this video, I do want to mention that there are links for all the products that I use below, and it's in the description box of this video. There is a link that says supply list. If you click that link, it's going to take you to like a visual supply list where you can just click on products there. The other option is you can always go to my blog link, which has all the photos from this card, and I do a little write-up about it, and then there's a supply list at the bottom of that blog post. So anyway, I'm adding shading over on the bottom of this trim piece, and then just like I said, in the little bends and corks there, and then this piece will be done and ready to assemble. Okay, let's talk about for just a minute here what I'm making this card for. So my daughter is in FFA, which stands for Future Farmers of America, and it is something you can be in when you're in high school. And she raises pigs, Hampshire crosses, actually, every year for the fair. And after raising the pigs, we take them to auction and they're sold as market pigs. We call them buyers, when the person buys one of her pigs, it is the protocol, I guess, or the tradition to give the buyer a gift. So last year, it was our first year doing a buyer gift, and I was so embarrassed because I brought a bottle of wine for each buyer, which is a nice gift. However, when I saw what the other people were bringing out, I was kind of embarrassed. So I stepped up my game this year, folks. So one of my buyers will get this amazing card, and then I'm going to be making another card for another buyer. We are doing wine. We are doing a gift bag with some other goodies in it. So they hopefully will be very impressed and happy with their gift. Not that our previous buyers complained or anything like that. That's not why they're buying. They're buying to help the kids out. But you know what I'm saying. It just, you want to feel like you're doing what everybody else is doing. You're on par. So here, let's go back to the card really quick. You can see that I chose kind of that like amber colored vellum, which is a light color. So if you decided you did not want to do lights for this barn, you could just put this vellum behind it and you would be good to go. However, of course I have to do the lights. So I decided on this color vellum, and then I'm just going to hold it up to my barn and I'm going to cut kind of around. While I was sharing with you what this card is for, you may have noticed I die cut out the window at the top and the door at the bottom. Really, really easy to do. I actually just want to point out that I did put the trim on the roof before cutting out the window at the top. Reason being, I didn't want to place that window too high and then not be able to, or then have my window be cut out over my trim. That would not have looked correct. So that is why I added my trim on my roof before I did my die cutting for my window and my door. Okay, so we're going to lay this piece of vellum down. I'm using my precision glue press here for all these parts and pieces. Just love that thing. And we're going to lay this down, glue it on, and then add our light. So I've sped this up because I move really, really slow when it comes to these lights. But these lights come in a 5-pack along with their battery. This particular light is actually 3 lights. So it is a little bit of a learning curve when you first start using these ones because you're kind of learning how to manipulate the wires and stuff like that. So it's very, very easy. It's just takes a minute, you know, just have to slow down a second and think about how you're doing things. And for me, especially, I am such a visual person. I have to really like kind of pause, look things over, pause, look things over. So I did actually make a little mistake on this card that I went ahead and kind of edited out, but you'll still see it. I stamped the word push in Versamark ink with white embossing powder. And because I had done those score lines to make it look like a barn or like barn slats, barnwood, it just looked kind of crappy. So what I ended up doing is kind of just wiping away what I could, and then I stamped push here and die cut it with the little circle from the stamp set from Pear Blossom Press. Pear Blossom Press has a stamp set that has like push here, press, push, all those different things that you need it to say so that people know they need to do something to make the card work. They have a really cool little stamp set that does that. And then they have a die cut that cuts out different parts and pieces. So it is all comes together. The stamp set and the dies come together. Again, I'll link to those below the video if you want them. And then here I'm just taking these lights and I'm lining them up where I want them and then taping them down with Scotch tape. So I'm getting them all put in place exactly where I want. And then I'm taping them down, and then I will be able to put my foam tape on. So here I've added all my foam tape. I didn't feel like you had to watch me add every single little piece there. And then I cut a black backing for these. Now look here. This is the really important part I want to show you. I put this on and I press it down and realize, oh no, it's not lined up perfectly. The black backing is not lined up perfectly. Look it, I'm able to pull it away with no problem whatsoever. It doesn't tear either cardstock and it comes right up. That is because this tape, one, it's thicker than normal foam tape. Two, it is repositionable up to 24 hours. So I just have to tell you, this foam tape is $20. It's a huge roll, and it is the best foam tape, in my opinion, that's out there because it's repositionable. So you can lift it up and reposition it. And that is something to me that is really important when you're dealing with like the light up cards, and positioning is important. So here I'm going to add my door to the front of the card, and then I'm going to add my little piggy and basket right here, and we're going to glue all of that down. And then I decided that the little piggy needed some straw under it to just kind of ground it and make it look like it belonged there instead of just floating all over the place. So let's talk a little bit more about this fair time situation we have going on. So at the time of me recording this video, we are a couple weeks away from the fair. I have to record and do everything I'm going to do during that time way in advance, because let me tell you, there will be no working during fair time. I will not be able to put videos up. I will not be able to do much at all except survive the week. I am praying above all prayers that the weather is better than it has been. We have been experiencing 105 plus degrees since July 1st. At the time I'm recording this video, voiceovering it for you, it is July 9th. So 9 days straight of over 105 degree weather. Back to the card really quick here. I'm just putting a clear block on top to like hold everything in place, making sure my light works, making sure everything is exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to add this sentiment that says, "You are amazing." This sentiment is from Concord and Ninth. I love this sentiment die set. It's very simple and basic and fantastic. So I'll link to that below the video as well. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's what's going on. So when you're watching this video, I will be probably sweating and crying and ready for the fair to be over, and then saying to my husband, okay, so now when next year when we do this, because ultimately we really, really love it. We love the time with our daughter. We love the Amador County Fair and the small town America feel. We love all of those things. And that really was what this card represented for me. It just felt really sweet and country and small town. And then I stepped it up with that light, which makes it feel extra special for the buyer that buys my daughter's pigs. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, we will be in the process of selling the pigs. So you can, know that the card is making its way to its new home. And yeah, I think that's it, you guys. This is just such a fun card. Super fun project to do for somebody special that is going to contribute to my daughter's future. The money she makes off of her pigs, she puts into her college fund, and she puts aside money to save for her future FFA project for the following year. And she is just a really incredible young lady doing lots of awesome things. So this is an awesome card for an awesome person that is going to support her. And yeah, that's it. That's our whole card. Here I'm just going to color a little bit on this piece of die cut straw. And you're going to see when we add this little piece of straw under the piggy, it really brings this card together. I know it seems silly, but I feel like it kind of draws on the amber in the background. And then look at this. How cute is this? I'm sorry, but whoever gets this is really going to love it because it's just so fun. So to give this card, I am going to put a note on top that instructs them to press so that they know, even though it says press here, I really want to make sure that they know that they press it to have that light up, because, you know, that's the wow factor. If you want to see other videos from me, you can click either one of them that you see here. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.